Good morning. I'd like to welcome you to the third in our series of global introductions to the grademetrix machine guidance range, following on from the grademetrix dozer and sitemetrix webinars held earlier this week. Our aim is to introduce a new value point that lowers the barrier to entry for contractors, a solution with an easy-to-use operating interface, and that does not compromise on performance or functionality. A couple of quick notes before we go on. Questions can be asked in the chat box to the right of your screen. Team members are standing by to answer your questions individually and live. Questions are all private, so you'll see answers to your questions only. Please throw anything you want at us live during the presentation. We have a lot of questions each webinar, and we reply to all of them. Also, at the end of the presentation, I'm going to run through a list of frequently asked questions. Some of these might fill some gaps for you also. Following the presentation, I would encourage you to contact your local Hemisphere dealer. He'll be able to discuss the system benefits with you and schedule a demonstration or trial. Invest 10 minutes of your time to see how you can save costs and increase efficiency at an affordable price. I encourage you to call straight away while the information in your mind is hot. It's only 10 minutes. You can also call us here at Hemisphere and we'll put you in touch with the right people to assist you. These are the points I will cover in the presentation. A brief outline of the team here at Hemisphere in Brisbane, a look at the key features of the system and the benefits they provide, and a technology review outlining the performance of the components. Following this, I'll run a video that goes through the functionality and use of the system using our simulator as the presenting tool. Lastly, I'll go through a summary and price guide before closing. I'd now like to introduce you to the team. I'm Tony Clear, and I manage the region of Australia and New Zealand at Hemisphere. I'm supported by Mark Brook in the field application role, and also by Liam Anderson, who's our operations manager. Mark is an extremely experienced engineer, having managed the machine control operation at one of Australia's largest civil contractors. And I come from a GPS and machine control background covering Europe, US, and Australia. Our partners in Australia all come from a services background, which is a different model to traditional machine control providers. We hope that with our experience, with these excellent new products, and with the background experience of our partners, we can offer you a leading step into the efficiency, accuracy, and profitability that machine guidance can provide. And so to the grademetrix excavator system. In this slide, I'll introduce you to some of the key components. There are two types of receivers available. The first is the VR1000, which utilizes two separate A46 antennas with the VR1000 receiver. The second is the VR500, a unique receiver on the market that combines all the key technology required into the one unit. More on these in future slides. The all-in-one display is a touchscreen unit with excellent brightness and response, and is the screen provided with all of our grademetrix solutions. It also has a built-in modem, meaning the system does not require a costly external modem as required with most other systems. The grademetrix excavator solution is supplied with both 2D and 3D functionality that allows you to work with simple surfaces just as easily as with complex models. The sensors are solid state, which means that there are no moving parts susceptible to failure. The lightweight antennas of the VR1000 allow it to be installed on the handrail. No need for masts. And the VR500 is mounted to the roof of the cabin with only one cable to the screen. This system is therefore by far the easiest to install with installation and calibration, typically completed in less than 1 day. The grademetrix solutions come complete with all constellations enabled. You do not need to pay extra to upgrade from GPS GLONASS only. The operator interface is designed for ease of use. Cut and fill are shown very clearly on the left of the screen with almost no lag, increasing the efficiency of your operators from the trainees right through the experienced handlers. A key feature is the ability to work to existing field situations on the fly. An operator can very simply design his own work in the field. An example of this might be a flat pad. An operator might need to dig to a local surface using the current position of the bucket as the reference, or maybe 2 meters below the position of the bucket, for example. This might be in the case of a culvert or a trench. He might also need to set a height at a certain elevation and dig to this, for example, 12.5 meters above sea level. These tasks are all able to be completed very simply from the screen in the cab. Operators can similarly design straight slopes, slopes with a crossfall, or even slopes with complex slopes, cross slopes and drainage slopes either side of a centre line. These can all be designed on the fly in the cab. Operators can then cut exactly to design and even choose guidelines from the screen to guide them in a plan view, for example, when boxing out a road or digging a trench to design. So what are the benefits of all these features? The major benefit is reduction. Jumping forward in the presentation, imagine if we could get you into a full excavator solution for about $380 a week. How many times do you pay for professional services for grade checking and restaking of marks? What's the minimum survey call out? $750, $800? If you have 1 day a week where you complete your own grade checks or mark out your own trench line, you're ahead. This even before taking into account speed, accuracy, and material savings. Your sites are getting done faster and more accurately, and you're therefore reducing your costs considerably on labour and fuel as a direct result of the time savings. Material costs are also dramatically reduced. You're not overcutting, which saves on waste costs and replacement material costs. And you're not undercutting, which saves on rework costs and time. What about the professional services costs mentioned? Wait time for professional services also costs you money. How much money and time do you spend getting trench inverts checked or dislodged stakes replaced? What about trench guidelines and pad markers? What if you could do these checks and set out these stakes yourself? How much time and cost could you save per week? Considering material costs, waste costs, wait time for professional services, fuel and labour savings, and the actual professional services fees at maybe $750 a pop, could you save more than $380 a week? If so, you're ahead with a grademetrix excavator solution. You're simply using your own guidance system that's easy to use and draws efficiency gains from your operators, no matter what skill set they have. You have complete control of your site. So this brings me to the technology section of the presentation. All constellations are provided in the grademetrix solutions. On the top right, you can see 46 satellites being tracked from American, Russian, European, Chinese, and Japanese constellations. On the bottom right, you can see 22 satellites being tracked from GPS and GLONASS only. So where is the benefit? On a clear site with no obstructions, there is no benefit. But what about normal working conditions? If trees are filtering access to satellites, you need as many as possible to guarantee position and accuracy lock. In built-up urban environments, you need as many as possible to reduce the effect of multipath and blockages. And in urban canyons or mine environments, you obviously need as many as possible due to the limited sky view. Hemisphere is very proud to present a new concept in machine guidance, the VR500. This unit has a receiver and 2 antennas built in, along with radio, Bluetooth, and power management. The antennas are separated by exactly 0.5 meters, which allows it to accurately calculate heading as well as position. Single mast solutions are unable to calculate this heading. When a machine reverses, they frequently assume that the machine is heading forwards. The VR500 eliminates this error. The VR500 is designed specifically for a dozer or a compact excavator. The aim is to create a solution with a price point that for the first time is a viable solution from a return on investment perspective. The efficiency gains available from machine guidance can now be applied to smaller machines. The value and gains are available at an affordable price. The VR1000 has 2 external A46 antennas. The one receiver is used for both antennas, which means that A, you don't have expensive and heavy receiver antenna units mounted on masts externally where installation is a problem and damage is possible, and B, having one receiver service 2 antennas eliminates clock error, a possibility with separate receiver systems. The lightweight A46 antennas are leading edge technology and allow quick and easy installation on the handrail, so no masts, and simple install and remounting for security overnight. All the same functionality is included in the VR1000 as in the VR500 compact system, and this extends to the dozer system also. A further point to mention here is the 3-year warranty on all the expensive components. Hemisphere has been in the market for many years and is the first choice supplier of GPS components for many OEM manufacturers. We know how to put components together. The rigorous testing we do gives us complete confidence to offer such an extensive peace of mind 3-year warranty. We will now present an overview of the operating system of the grademetrix solution. My colleague Mark Brook has put together the following video to show you the functionality of the system.
Thanks, Tony. Hi everyone, I'm Mark Brook and I'm the Field Application Engineer for Hemisphere GNSS here in Brisbane, Australia. Today I'd like to take just 15 minutes of your time to scratch the surface on some of the powerful functionality contained within our grademetrix for excavator platform. Just a quick disclaimer, the demonstration I have here for you today is being carried out on the emulator software on my PC and has limited machine movement. This will have a small impact on the demonstration of our field design capability and inbuilt 2D functionality, but the operator will have full access to these functions on the machine's iron-1 display and can use the responsive touchscreen to access these. We'll get started here on the main user interface that the operator will see on the iron-1 display. You can see that I'm positioned here on a road profile, and using the 3D technology we can move around the job site or slew around whilst providing real-time grade indication using the grade indicator or light bar on the left-hand side of the screen. This information is also available on this particular view in the bottom left-hand side of the screen. And on the bottom right-hand corner we also have current cross slope of the bucket and the current cross slope of the design surface. The operator can easily toggle between views to suit their preference or application by using the view icon in the top right corner. You can see here I have selected plan, profile and cross-section view. The plan view on the left-hand side gives you a top-down view of the machine position overlaying the line work that you would normally see on paper plans. The cross-section view gives you a detailed section view of the bucket in relation to the design surface for trimming and digging to a predefined model. And the profile view gives you the same representation of the current machine position to the model, but from a side view. On the left-hand side, you can now see that our bucket position is matching the grade to the 3D model. Although most 3D design models reference the finished surface level, including the one pictured here. So to counter for varying design layers such as topsoil, digging the initial road box, subgrade layers, etc., we can use a vertical offset value to do this. By pressing on the grade indicator bar, we can access the grading setup menu. We can enter a vertical offset value in here, minus value being below current surface and positive above. I will enter in here a minus 300 mm vertical offset in here for the road box. You can now see the cut fill value has changed by approximately the value entered in the offset window, as we were previously matching grade. A new surface line has also been created on the cross-section view for the operator to dig to. Vertical offset value can also be quickly adjusted using the arrows in the bottom left corner, which is currently incrementing the offset by 3 mm each way. However, this value is customizable in the grading setup screen using the step value, and I'll make this change to represent a change of 25 mm per up or down arrow press, and you'll see the surface offset line adjust on the cross-section screen, and the cut fill value will also adjust to reflect this. We also have made it easier than ever to have predefined offset values that can be quickly applied to minimize operator time spent manually adjusting offsets to common values. We do this in the grade setup screen by pressing and holding the preset buttons when we have a desired offset value applied, and this will save it. We have 9 preset buttons, making it quicker than any other solution on the market to adjust vertical offset. The operator may want to follow an alignment if digging to a boundary line or curb line, etc. This can be achieved by pressing and holding the desired line on the plan view and selecting User's Guideline. The operator will then be given a line and an information box indicating the distance to the alignment as well as the chainage. Right now it is showing a distance from the right hand side of the bucket to the line, and it is worth noting that the defined bucket guide location can be set in the steering menu, also located in grading setup, if wanting to change the steering reference point. If the operator is chasing elevation for his current bucket position, they can do so by accessing the information drop-down tab in the top right corner. This will display current positional information, RTK status, etc. And the information contained within this menu is customizable in the settings. One important thing to note is that positional information within the screen, as well as on single light bar views, is based on the bucket quick location reference point, which is indicated by a green arrow on both the plan and cross-section view. To change this reference point, simply press and hold on the bucket and you will be given a choice of available quick options, as well as customizable offset. You will see the positional information update to reflect the change in reference point. In grademetrix, we offer the ability to lock certain functions behind our administrator password. This is to prevent operators from accidentally modifying something they shouldn't. Start by entering the hamburger menu and selecting the person icon in the bottom left. You'll see some menus are grayed out and are only accessible behind admin password. This password can be set and defined within the settings. We're now ready to move on to the creation of the 3D job. Enter the main hamburger menu and select New Job. Give the job a name. You can also enter in a description or notes in here for the operator to describe specific information about this job if desired. On the next screen, you will need to bring in a localization and line work file. For localizations, we currently support the direct import of Carlson.loc file format, and we're also looking to expand this to CSV and other mixed fleet file formats in the future. If you do not have a .loc file, you can also enter it in the control point information manually in a later screen. Select the localization file and you're ready to move on to the line work file. We support common CAD file formats for line work such as DXF and DWG. Consult the manual for a full list of supported file types. Next, we'll move on to importing the tin or 3D surface model, digital terrain model, etc. Press Add and select the file. We offer the ability to upload multiple surface files. Of course, the cut fill value will only reference one of these at a time, but it is useful for things such as material deposits and avoidance zones on the cross-section and profile views. On the next page, you're able to select your projection or transformation set if required. This should be specified to you as part of the control information from your surveyor. Then you can move on to the final localization page, which contains GPS coordinates and references against the local coordinates of your job. You can press Add on the bottom of the screen to enter these coordinates in manually if you are bringing the data across from a third-party platform. When there is no 3D surface or line work information available for a job, we offer the ability for the operator to create some 3D designs on the fly. We call this field design. To get started, enter the menu and go to Field Design. We have the option to select Flat Pad, Hold Slope, Sloping Pad and Ramp. I'll demonstrate these starting with a flat pad. Start by entering a pad name. Previously designed pads will be saved and available in the Recent Pads menu. Press the record button to take a shot based on the current elevation reference point of the bucket, i.e. the green arrow. Then you can either use the benched height to create the pad or enter a custom elevation yourself. In this case, we're going to create a flat pad at 6RL and it'll extend indefinitely. The 3D technology allows you to track and slew around the job site, and it'll always maintain grade to 6RL no matter what angle or slope of the machine. Using the hold slope field design, we can create a slope from an alignment and extend it indefinitely, which is helpful for redesigns. Unfortunately, the simulator is quite difficult to demonstrate this. However, you'll now see an extended grade surface in a light brown based off the front of curb alignment and extending across the road profile. Another commonly used field design function is the sloping surface pad. After giving the sloping surface a name, you're able to record the points between two areas or two positions and create a sloping surface between them. Alternatively, you can enter these values manually, which I'm doing here due to not being able to move the machine on the simulator. You will then see the sloping plane surface extended indefinitely. Our field design ramp function is a powerful multi-use field design tool. It can be used to create more complex and combined sloping and flat plane designs. In this example, I'll show you how to create a road profile with a crown using this tool. First, we need to establish a base point. We can enter this information manually or use the current machine bucket position. Then we can establish a heading and a forward slope. Once again, we will use the inbuilt record position to record the other end of the ramp with the current bucket position. I have to manually adjust some of these values to demonstrate on the simulator. Then we can specify a surface 5 meters each side of the center line with a standard cross slope of 3% either side. Once finished, we now have a 10-meter wide road profile with a crown at 3%. Of course, with experience, users will be able to expand on this even further and are only really limited by their imagination and ability, of course, but we try to make this as easy as possible. Built into grademetrix, we also have our 2D application as standard, where, if a base station is not available, the operator is still able to create various slopes and designs using the 2D functionality of the machine. These are a little bit hard to demonstrate on the simulator due to not being able to move the machine when creating the design, but it functions on the real machine how you'd expect it to. You can press the icons on the side to bench the bucket. If tracking the machine is required, you can use the traverse function to rebench on the same mark and continue working. This, of course, can be compensated for through the use of our optional laser receiver, where changes in height can easily be compensated for by striking the laser. The operator can also use our Topo app to record points for as-built designs, etc. This point information can be accessed down the track when referring to covered up services and can be passed on to survey for processing if required. The points can be recorded by taking single shots manually, or it can also be recorded by time or distance profiles. We understand that the ability to get to site ready to roll with existing base station technology is a high priority for our customers, so we've made it particularly easy to access our radio configuration screen, which can program channels directly into our integrated UHF RTK radio found in our VR500 and VR1000 product line. And with a growing number of sites shifting to modern cause network-based correction services, our N-trip configuration page is also user-friendly, and by using the integrated cellular modem within our Iron1 display, no additional hardware is required for accessing these services. We are proud of the effort that has gone into our calibration procedure, which is one of the quickest, most user-friendly in the market today, while still maintaining the accuracies that you've come to expect from your machines. Stepping through the machine geometry pages here, you'll see that most of the measurements can be completed easily, and our 3D and 2D sensor calibration wizards will take care of the rest. Access to a site metrics rover for our 3D calibration wizard is desired, but it can be completed with any other GNSS hardware that you may have available, and even manually if required. Last but certainly not least, we have our diagnostics screen, which can be accessed by the button in the top right corner of the screen. In here we can find all kinds of diagnostic information relating to the current status of the machine control, so that our technicians will have you up and running sooner. Well, that's it from me, everyone. I've tried to fit as much as I can into the 15-minute window, and of course, if there are any questions, please ask away in the chat box now. Otherwise, feel free to contact us with any further questions, and with that, I'll hand you back off to Tony. Thanks for your time, everyone.
There we go. So now to the summary. Hemisphere is very pleased to be releasing the grademetrix excavator solution that you've seen here demonstrated today. It offers a new mark with regard to performance and simplicity at an affordable price and is available for evaluation through our dealer network today. The affordable price point makes the system a viable investment to unlock efficiency and cost savings on even the smallest machines on site. The barrier to entry for a large sector of the contractor market is now lower, opening this valuable tool to a larger audience for whom the price has previously been prohibitive. This value is provided without compromise on performance and without an array of costly options. It comes with full constellation, tilt bucket, and inbuilt modem. Installation and calibration can be completed in less than 1 day, minimizing your downtime, and the system is provided with all firmware and software updates without subscription and a 3-year warranty on all main components. The solution increases efficiency across your fleet of excavators, from the smallest to the largest, and increases the efficiency of your operators, no matter what level of skill. Your site costs will see a significant impact due to the benefits of increased accuracy, increased speed, less fuel, less material, and less external professional fees. And this will ultimately become less time to complete projects and more profit. So what is the price point that I've been referring to? The grademetrix excavator solution is available to you through our experienced dealer network at a price of less than $49,000, including all options and a 3-year warranty. I'd also like to add here that we will soon be announcing a finance solution that will allow you to spread your purchases over an extended period. If you can save 1 survey visit to site per week, costing maybe $750 as a minimum call-out fee, and the system costs about $380 a week, would this be interesting? And you own the system in 3 years, the goods being under warranty the whole time. So in conclusion, contact your dealer or contact us and we'll put you in touch with one of our dealer partners. Invest 15 minutes of your time finding out how fast we can have you saving money and trialing a system. You should also be aware of the government stimulus initiative currently available for purchases before June 30 this year. All acquisitions can have the entire cost depreciated this year. If you purchase the system this year, you get your tax back within months. So now I'll quickly go through some frequently asked questions that have come up in webinars across the world. The first question is, can I use the grademetrix guidance machines with other brand bases and sites? The answer is that we support all common industry correction formats and mediums, including UHF radio and NTRIP for VRS and other common correction services. Also, our base station can output industry standard formats as well, meaning existing brand rovers and machines on site will continue to operate from our base stations. Another question was, what kind of file types can I use? Most industry standard CAD file types can be used for the line work and surface models, for example, DXF, DGN, etc. Most software output these standard file types. Another question was, how much are our software updates? And the answer is that our software updates are included. There's no ongoing subscriptions for the grademetrix software updates. Do we support tilt bucket? The answer is yes, the tilt bucket functionality is already unlocked in the solution. You just need to purchase the extra components, e.g. like a sensor and a cable. These components will work for both tilt buckets and tilting hitches. Can you have multiple attachments calibrated for the single machine if using a quick hitch? And the answer is yes, multiple buckets can easily be calibrated and the operator can switch between them as required. Can you share the system between multiple excavators? Yes, you have the ability to share the main system components across your excavator fleet. Our easy-to-use guidance-ready kits and simplified installation and calibration procedures make switching between machines a lot simpler than with any competitor solution. Well, that's it for today. Feel free to contact your dealer or Hemisphere with any questions. We'll leave the chat box open for a few minutes so you can continue to ask questions. Thanks very much for your attendance and have a great day.